Okay guys, so you can see here I've got LayersPro on my iPad. I showed some of you how to do this in class, but we're going to show everyone so that if you want, you can use this to develop your ideas for your compositions. I'm going to go into this piece here. Oops, cancel. I will change the name if I want, and that's it. So that's my first Georgia piece. I double click on it, it will open. Down here on layer 1, I want to bring in a picture of one of the outdoor environment-y photos that I've taken myself. So I'm going to hit plus, add picture layer, camera roll, and I want this picture here. And I want to make it a bit bigger so that it's really zoomed in. So that's my layer. Yep, perfect. What you'll find sometimes is even after you add it, then over here in the layers here, it won't show. But here when the picture is in here, you can see the little thumbnail on layer 2. If it's there, you know that it's dropped it in properly. So the next thing I'm going to do is add another layer, a clear layer this time, over the top. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to go down here to my paint brush, and I'm going to use the paint brush. I want to make it a bit smaller, and I'm going to choose this one because it's nice and round. Now the way that the layers work is if I draw something on layer 3, it won't affect layer 2. So have a look at this. I'm going to try and use my stylus here to help create the shape so that I get really nice shapes on my art, and I can see I can make these little ones. You can see that they're actually little stems like this. So quite quickly I can get a lovely little shape for what's happening. And I'm going to do this really quickly. If you did it, you'd take a bit more time and draw these a bit carefully. I'm going to do it quite quickly so you can see how helpful this little tool is. Okay, so I'm drawing on it with my paintbrush. I'm using a stylus. You could use your pencil, but it can be a little bit trickier if you want a lot of detail. See these lines up here? I might add some more lines in to show the shape in here. See the lines coming up on the petals? You can see them here. Just to give a bit more detail. Okay, so now what we can do, if you were doing it, you'd put a bit more of this detail in too. If I come back to my layers here, if I drag this layer too, I'm going to put, and I'm holding it, and now I'm dragging it down, you can see what that does to give you a nice outline. Now that's quite a fun way of bringing in different parts. Like I could bring in another layer, add picture layer, I go to my camera roll, and maybe I want a different kind of flower in there as well. So, and I think I only want kind of that part, so I'm going to add that layer in. Now it should come in on top, but remember I can go to the layer, which is selected because it's dark blue, and I can click and I can drag it down. If I don't want to see it, I can drag it under the white one, or I can delete it if I'm done. But I actually want it to be here, and I'm going to move this layer 3 under the white so that I can only see the picture I want to draw around. I add another clear layer. Cool. Now you can see down here my paint tool is still on the really small detail, so I'm good, and I'm going to use it then to draw the shapes. Now the last thing I'll show you really quickly is how to resize a layer. See, this is really helpful to help you get the shapes correct, and then what you can do is you can print them off later and colour them in your book. So this is a nice way to fuse technology and your own skills. Okay? You don't have to use this technique, but if you'd like to, it can help also develop what we call your muscle memory, which allows you to train your hand to see, use your eyes to observe, and your hands to record the shapes. Okay, so now I'll go back to layer. I'm going to drag, first of all I want to make this a bit smaller, so I'm going to click on here, reposition layer, and here you can see I can make it much smaller. And obviously you can see that it's changing. The great thing is I can move it, I can make it smaller, and I'm going to drag it down here, I think, and then I'm going to go reposition. So you can see the outline is here. Now I want to get rid of this, and I want to bring my other sketch back up to the front. Okay, cool. Now I could erase around here so I have the overlapping shapes. So I can change to the erase tool and go in and erase in here. I have to be on the right layer though, so let's see here. This is the layer I want to be on, and I'm going to erase in here. Here we go. If you were doing it, you'd make sure you had a bit more detail so you could clearly see the shapes. When I'm ready with the idea and finished, I'm just going to actually, I've decided I don't want that one, so I'm going to drag that one up and drag the second one I did down so it looks like that. When I'm ready, I hit the share square and I can save to my photos, and it squashes all the layers down. You can see that. Now if I double click here and I go to photos, I can actually go to it through camera or through photos, the Photos app. You can see that it's been saved, and then we can print it like we did the other images we had. Okay, perfect. Have a go at this. It can develop your skills of using layers as well as your observational drawing, because if you then draw it afterwards, you'll know what it feels like to draw it when you drew it over the top of the photograph.